Today we're making Skyr, which is a high-protein Icelandic yogurt. When you make it at home, you can use non-homogenized, pasture-raised, or grass-fed milk, which makes it a lot healthier. First, heat up some milk in a pot on about medium-low. You want it to come up to about 180 degrees. I don't use a thermometer, I wait until it bubbles up like this, then I know it's hot enough. Then you let it cool down to around 110. To speed up this process, you can throw it in the fridge. It takes about an hour or more. Once it's done cooling down, don't let it cool down too much. I skim off the top, which is like the stuff that forms on the surface when you're cooking it. I've had really good results using Siggy's Skyr as a culture in my yogurt. So I'll use about half of this little container for a gallon of milk. I go through about 2 gallons of milk to make Skyr every week, so it's perfect to just buy a small little container. So I just whisk it in with my warm milk. Then I'll cover my pot and I'll put it in an oven with the pilot light on to keep it warm overnight, so about 8 to 10 hours. The next morning, it's time to strain it. So you want to make sure that your yogurt has set. You can tell it's set when you kind of lean it over and you see on the edge there, everything is together, so that means it fermented properly. You will need some sieves or strainers, some deep pots or containers for the whey to drain into, and flour sack towels, or you could use butter muslins. So on top of your containers, put your strainers and then your flour sack towel, and then begin scooping your yogurt into the flour sack towel. You'll want it to be in an area where you don't mind it getting wet, because the whey will spread across the entire flour sack towel onto the surface that your containers are sitting on. So make sure you're on kind of a waterproof surface. I cover my yogurt with plates and then another flour sack towel on top, and I tie it to keep critters from crawling in there. I let my yogurt strain for about 8 hours, so while I'm getting other things done, I can go run errands or do whatever and come back to it. And when I do, it'll be nice and strained like this. Make sure the containers you use to strain your yogurt in are deep enough to where the whey isn't sitting on the yogurt. That'll make it harder for the next step, which is taking the yogurt out of the flour sack towels. It should just fall off easily. The cool thing about Skyr is it's traditionally made with skim milk. So after, the cream was used for butter and everything, you take the skim milk, and then when you strain it down so much and then you whip it, it's so creamy you can't even tell it's virtually fat-free. So once your strained yogurt is added to a large bowl, I usually use a larger bowl than this because it does get messy. You're going to use an electronic whisk or a stand mixer, and you're going to whip up your yogurt until it's nice and creamy. Now your skyr is ready to be stored in the fridge before enjoying. I would let it cool down a little bit before having some. So put it in a glass container that will seal. I prefer using something with a wide opening instead of a narrow jar. When you make a bunch of skyr every week, you end up with tons of whey. And whey isn't something that you should just throw away, you should keep it. It has a lot of probiotics, so you can make drinks out of it. In Iceland, they traditionally stored it in barrels, fermented it, and it was called syra, where they then used it for food preservation or diluting it and drinking. You can even make lemonade with whey. Today I'm enjoying my skyr with some peaches and strawberries. It's peach season right now, and I am really loving it. I'm topping my fruity skyr with raw honey. I used to find yogurt making overwhelming, and I often didn't enjoy the way it tasted afterward. But now that I've discovered skyr and how to strain it and whisk it and use the right culture, I enjoy it every single time, and I find it to be an easy routine. I hope you found this tutorial inspiring and easy to follow, so you can start making skyr at home too.